I let myself into the apartment next to my girlfriend's to prevent a fire. She is mad I filed a police report about it. This weekend I was staying over at my girlfriend's apartment. It's a single house split into 2 apartments. Around 8 a.m., I smelled bacon and went downstairs to see if she was cooking. She had just bought a quarter of a pig from a local farmer, so I was really hoping it was some of her new bacon. Sadly, it wasn't. It must have been coming from the adjoining apartment next door. Around 11 a.m., we heard an alarm going off next door and didn't think much of it. The neighbor, male, mid-20s, is always awake at odd hours and stays up late, so my girlfriend and I assumed it was his alarm clock and that he was just sleeping through it. Shortly after that, I got up to do some laundry and smelled smoke. I realized the alarm wasn't an alarm clock at all, but the smoke detector, and it had been going off for at least 5 to 10 minutes. I immediately ran around the house to the side door leading to the other apartment to see if I could get in. Through the window, I could see smoke and someone passed out on the couch. I banged on the door to wake the neighbor, but he didn't respond. I'm a locksmith and had my picks with me, so I tried picking the door, but I couldn't get it open quickly. I ran to the front door, and thankfully, it was unlocked. I went inside, ignored the neighbor on the couch, and followed the smoke. It turns out the bacon I'd smelled at 8 a.m., along with a giant omelet, were still on the stove, 3 hours later, burning. I turned off both burners, dealt with the burnt food, and then checked on the neighbor. The neighbor was out cold. It was clear this was alcohol or drug related, but he was otherwise okay. I left him alone and went back to my girlfriend's apartment. He woke up about 15 minutes later, and we could hear him moving around just fine. He never came over to say thank you. This is where it gets messy. Since I'm a locksmith, I know what I did could technically be considered breaking and entering or trespassing. I'm pretty sure it would fall under Good Samaritan protections, but I wanted to avoid any possibility of it becoming a problem. It would be very hard for me to keep my job if I had either of those charges on my record. Later that day, I left my girlfriend's place and filed a police report to cover myself, just in case. Last night I was at a brewery with my girlfriend. She planned to drive us back to her place where my vehicle was. I had been drinking, so I wasn't going to drive. I told her I had filed a police report, and she immediately got visibly upset and left the brewery without me. I ended up having to take a cab home and another one back to her place this morning to get my vehicle. Now my girlfriend is telling me we need to have a talk tonight, and she's giving me the cold shoulder. I can only assume she's upset that I filed the police report and that the neighbor or the landlord might get mad about it. My question is, how can I talk to her to help her understand that what I did was to protect myself and my livelihood? Also, if anyone can help me understand why she is so upset about this, I would really appreciate it. Update: wow. We just broke up. We talked for about 15 minutes on the phone, and she accused me of not taking her feelings into account. Since someone asked, we started dating on and off last summer and officially became a couple at Thanksgiving. Here is the bombshell I mentioned in the comments. We were scheduled to leave for a fully paid for week-long Caribbean vacation together in just over 2 weeks. We talked briefly about it on the phone and decided to give each other some time and not discuss it yet. This is where I'd love some help. The relationship may not be repairable at this point, but I still think she's an amazing person, and I want to see how much damage control I can do so this isn't worse for either of us. Morning after update. After some social lubrication and talking to a lot of random people on here and at the brewery last night, I've come to a conclusion. Even if there was more going on, like many people have suggested, the relationship is over. There's no point in holding on and letting it drag me down. Today is a new day. I'm going to make it a good one and not look back. I know there will be issues regarding the vacation, but I'll handle those as they come. I'll update you all and ask for advice when I need it. Today I just need clarity and distance, so don't expect a lot of updates, but I'll check in from time to time. I also want to say thank you. So many of you helped me find peace of mind I would have struggled to find otherwise. A special thanks to the people at the brewery last night who, without even knowing it, helped me through this. A bit later update, I'm sitting here with a close friend, and he tells me that since Thanksgiving he could tell things weren't the same. This is the same person who told me she made me a better person and encouraged me to date her. I really do feel like I was blind to what was going on, and I'm starting to believe this was either an excuse or the straw that broke the camel's back. Final update: since we broke up, we haven't talked much, but we plan to discuss how to handle the Caribbean vacation tomorrow. It looks like that won't be happening. Tonight, I got an email saying she canceled my flight. I did some digging and found out she is now going on the vacation with her ex-fiancé. You all were right, there was more going on. I'm cutting all contact with her so I can have a clean break and move on. By the way, does anyone know a fun place to travel using my flight voucher from the canceled ticket? I'm in the US.